don't have, being in Southern California, don't have a lot of opportunities to see things that are military history. We didn't really have much in the way of conflict out here in California, um, and certainly not anything Napoleonic, but the closest thing we have is what I've got going on here behind me, which is Fort Point here in San Francisco Bay. Fort Point originally, this, of course, San Francisco was part of the Spanish Empire, and the Spanish had built a fort here. If you can see, I've got the Golden Gate Bridge behind me. This is the narrowest part of the entrance to the harbor, and so the Spanish had built an adobe fort up here in the late 1770s when they had occupied and built a presidio and a mission here in San Francisco. Let me flip this around so you can get a picture of the harbor. So there's our beautiful Golden Gate Bridge, and we can look out across the bay towards Sausalito, and we can see Alcatraz out in the distance. There's beautiful Alcatraz Island. And then, of course, we've got San Francisco there. So, the Spanish had a fort here. It was up on this higher part of the bluff. This cliff area had been reduced so that way in the 1850s, after California becomes a state in the Union, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers starts to build a fort here. And so Fort Point is the only third system masonry fort in the western United States. There's others like this style out on the East Coast, but they don't hold up too terribly well to rifled artillery, and so that's why they didn't bother to build any more. But this is out here, so we're going to walk around through and take a look at the fort itself. Maybe you guys would find this interesting. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think it's cool. So here we go. Let's walk around. Right, here we're... Right. You can tell the masonry walls are thick because signal there for a second. Here we are in the main courtyard area. You can see we've got 3 levels here. Now, they wanted to build the fort as close to sea level as possible at the time because the technique was to bounce cannonballs across the water to hit any enemy ship at the waterline. Let's take a look and see what they've got here. Looks like we've got some artillery. Otherwise, I will lose the signal. Kind of stay here in the courtyard. We have some very sensitive ordnance. Cannons, mortars. do not climb on the cannons thing. Yeah, when I was a kid, I think I ignored that most of the time. It looks like we've got a carriage for a larger size cannon. So after the American Civil War, of course, there wasn't any combat here. The Confederates never showed up. And so the fort, most of the guns were moved up to higher ground, and the fort wasn't used for military purposes other than as a barracks. All right, well, we'll kind of wrap it up here. I don't have a good enough signal to trust that the thing won't go dark going up through the different parts of the building. As you can see, it's all made out of brick, and it's built right on the bedrock here. They lowered the cliff. What's nice is that when they went to build the Golden Gate Bridge in the 30s, the fort itself had been slated for demolition, but the architect of the bridge didn't want that to happen, so he built a span to go over it, so that way the fort wouldn't be destroyed. And here we're right under the span. I'll show you that. So here is an extra arch that they added over the fort. That's the Golden Gate Bridge up there. They added this other pier, and that way then the fort wouldn't be destroyed. So glad someone was thinking ahead there so that this piece of history can be preserved. As I was saying, we don't have too much out here on the West Coast. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this little virtual tour, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, be well.